So around that time that record came out, that's when did the cult following start? Or did you...
We already had a cult following.
Now where did it start though? Where it was something in the scene where people started talking about the Misfits?
Well, that had happened all the way back to the days when we had put out Bullet and Hard Business. Our violent reputation had preceded us.
Now what do you mean by violent reputation?
Well, for crazy shows and stuff like that.
What's the crazy show?
You know, where everything went crazy. Our shows weren't normal punk shows. They were violent. You know what I mean? A show where people could go off, and our music was real fast and real loud.
Right. Now, is this...
We weren't, like, in New York at the time. The only other punk bands were, like, the Dead Boys, the Erasers, who weren't even a punk band. They were, like, an imitation Voidoids, but with girls, you know? Richard Hell and the Voidoids, only with girls and stuff like that. We were the young little snotty kids, you know, who came onto the scene and were, like, totally irreverent to what they were doing. Our music was loud and fast, screaming and yelling. And
did you have the whole stage presence yet and the image?
Sure, I was wearing the Bone shirt, you know.
Which you ended up throwing out at Santa Monica Civic, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's where you got rid of that. Because you came out wearing, I think, a white furry vest. And you wore the Bone shirt, and then you took it off and you threw it out into the crowd.
Yeah. Okay. That's right.
And, not starting. So, let's see. So you had the devilocks.
Jerry had, what he used to do was spike his hair, but it kept on falling down. He had blue spiky hair like in 78, 77. Actually 77. So in 78, he wanted to know what he could do with it because it kept on falling down. And I said, well, why don't you just slick it all up? And he kind of had this cockatoo haircut right in the middle. And it came down into a small devilock about the here. And I was already doing my hair into a point to be kind of like Eddie Munster-ish, and it was getting longer and longer.
Right, to about your nose.
Fast. So it was down to about the bridge of my nose.
Okay.
And that's like 78.
So both yours and Doyle's was there. What about Jerry? Did he have anything like that yet?
Well, Doyle wasn't in the band yet.
Oh, that was just Jerry and you.
And me, yeah. So Jerry had this cockatoo, kind of like Waddy mohawk, only his head wasn't shaved on the side.
Right.
And it came down into a very small devilock in the top. And then I just totally got this devilock type thing. You know, mine's a lot fuller than theirs.
Right.
And it's grown down to about the bridge of my nose, right here, the end of my nose. And it's just getting longer and longer, and that's how it just took off eventually. By 79, I had a full devilock.
Where did you come up with the name Devilock then?
Someone's mother actually came up with it.
When you were touring or around here?
Yeah, she said, oh, these are those guys, that band with the devilocks on their head.
And you guys got a kick out of that?
Yeah, and we thought it was pretty funny. Actually, it turns out that there's an African tribe who wears their hair like that, and they call it a devilock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's wild. So when actually did the Misfits start?
Misfits started actually in 77.
77, so with the big punk explosion, along came the Misfits.
Yeah.
And so then, by the time that Doyle was in the band and you were bringing out something that was a little more, I don't know what refined.
Totally ours.
Yeah, totally
okay,
yours.
Totally ours.
What year was that? About 81?
No. We were totally ours in 79.
79?
Most of the stuff on Walk Among Us is written in 78, 79. Not a lot of it, but stuff like Vampira is 78, 79. Okay?
And that's stuff that you played in your live show.
Yeah. That, there's a few other ones on there that are 79. Like I Turned Into a Martian is 79. Late 79. All that stuff. Stuff like Demonomania, that's like 1981. All Hell
That's stuff
Breaks.
that just came out on Earth AD.
Yeah. Demonomania is 81. Earth AD is written in 81. All Hell Breaks Loose was a 1980 song. Okay? That's all. It just took a long time for us to get stuff out.
So once the record came out on Slash then, and it brought the limelight to the band, because basically you were underground until that record
We were a cult band until that. Like, I mean, a serious cult band. We'd show up at a place.
Right, it didn't have
and
the following like it does now.
Exactly.
And then you came out into the limelight because there was the publicity for it and whatnot. So what happened to the band after that?
We got a lot more shows, and we got to go on tour a lot more.
So that's when you toured and you came out west for the first time.
No, we did that before the Slash record.
Before the Slash record. So
Yeah.
that's when you had
We did that in response to the Halloween 3 Hits from Hell 45. So those sold really well. So we went out and did a small little West Coast thing.
And that's when you had the legendary San Francisco incident.
No.
No? When
No,
was
that happened on the Slash tour.
That was on the Slash tour.
Slash set up a California tour for us. And they booked us in the Elite Club as opposed to the on Broadway. And there was no security there. It was run by Wes Robinson, who you know.
Right, he does Ruthie's in
yeah.
Brooklyn.
And so it was just a total ridiculousness. And so basically you have that incident that happened there.
And that was the second tour that you had played San Francisco then, right?
Yeah. The first time everything went great.
How many people went to a show like that the first time you played?
Well, the first time we played the on Broadway the first time, and downstairs the same night, Black Flag and the Meat Puppets were playing. So I think we had like about 200 people upstairs, whereas Black Flag downstairs at the MAB had about 500 or 600 people.
Did the kids know the songs that were coming?
Yeah, everybody who came to the show had a really good time.